Welcome to Northeast Current. My name is James May, and I'm the Regional Press Director for the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation. And I'm here today with Nina Waskevich. Did I get it right this time? Okay, Nina Waskevich is the Director of Marketing and Public Relations at AAA. Is that correct? Your correct title? Well, obviously we have some nice weather here. It seems like this has been the one winter that hasn't really hit us too bad. We got a pretty hard snowstorm in the southern part of the area here recently. But as you can see behind me, we have plenty of salt and plenty of anti-skid on hand. From AAA's standpoint, what are some of the things that throughout the winter time that you see, even with a more mild winter like we're having? I'm sure that you see a lot of, dead batteries maybe, and what are some of the other issues that you guys face at AAA?
Correct, dead batteries, running out of gas, flat tires, and those are all services that we could come straight out to your vehicle and within a couple minutes get you up and running and back on the road again.
You know, when you mention something like running out of gas, when you run out of gas in the summertime, obviously it's inconvenient. When you run out of gas and if it's 5 degrees out, that could really end up being a life and death type of situation. So the importance of all of those things to make sure that you're not running out of gas alongside the road. There are certain things that can be prevented. If someone should end up getting in a position where they've either run out of gas or they're stuck alongside the road, other than calling you guys, we were talking before about an emergency kit that we should have with us just in case we're in that position where we run out of gas. What are the things that would go into something like an emergency kit in your car?
Sure. You can have a blanket to keep yourself warm in case you're stranded for a few hours in the colder weather, water, maybe a snack, flares so that if your car is in a dark area so others can see your vehicle stranded on the side of the road. Jumper cables in case somebody does come if you don't have AAA, which we hope you would.
Yeah.
But to be able to service your vehicle and get it back up and going.
Yeah. And one of the things I've often thought is that it's important to think through what are the items specific to you that you need. So everybody should have jumper cables, everybody should have all those things, but many times it's, are you a diabetic and you need certain medicines? Are you, and to kind of think through, okay, if I'm stranded alongside the road for 24 hours or 48 hours, what are the things that I would want to have with me other than the cell phones and those type of things? Now, I know that you mentioned before that the AAA membership, I know that we were talking about this before we went on air, that you guys, like PennDot, are utilizing some new technology here with some stuff. Tell me a little bit about that and what that is.
It's very exciting. If you call 1-800-AAA-HELP, or use our free mobile app, which we hope everybody would download that.
Okay.
We can locate you with GPS technology. So we could pinpoint a pretty exact location of where you are, and our tow truck drivers all have iPads in their trucks so they can locate you and find you easier. So it's much more convenient for the member.
So you guys utilize a specific tow, it's not that you just don't call up, Joe's Towing and he comes out and tows for you. Right. You have specific people that are doing this type of thing. I didn't realize that with with
so
AAA.
we make sure so you're getting safe, you're getting somebody that's trusted and responsible coming out and service your vehicle as well when you're using AAA.
With PennDot, one of the things that we've been promoting as well is we have a new feature on our 511 app, and I know that you've seen that, where it allows, to be able to track where the plow drivers are. And so we have a new feature on there that if you go to 511pa.com or go to our 511 app, that you can actually track our plows. Not all of them yet, but about 30% of the plows have the same type of technology in it.
Exactly.
And it's great to be able to utilize technology, as more things are happening now, to be able to utilize that. From AAA standpoint, what are the other benefits that you guys, as we're looking at winter driving now, and I know that PennDot partners with AAA quite a bit on different things, what are the other services, and especially at winter time? We at PennDot, we're doing our best to keep the roads as clear as possible, but certainly, winter time is a given here in northeastern Pennsylvania. What would the other services that AAA would provide for winter driving?
Sure. So we have just information too, the literature that we have available. We offer different courses for those just to enhance their driving skills for teen drivers, mature drivers, and then just a emergency road service. If you're stranded on the side of the road, if you get stuck somewhere, we are there to service you. We can get you, out of that ditch, off the road. get your battery jumped, provide you gas, all those things to keep you protected on the road in your vehicle.
Can you talk a little bit more about the driving services that you said, the training services? Because obviously in this area recently we've had two different issues that we're dealing with at PennDOT. One, a lot of people are concerned about the roundabouts, and I understand that, and they are a new concept here. So there have been people saying to us, I don't remember this from my driving test. It was a number of years ago. So you guys offer this for mature drivers and for teen drivers. And the other thing, unfortunately, we've had a string of at least 3 wrong way crashes here recently on the interstate. So what are the services that you guys provide as far as driver training?
So our club, AAA North Penn, specifically offers a mature driver program. There's an in-classroom or there's an online program. Okay. It's for members and non-members, 55 and older, and it's to enhance your skills. You don't do an actual course in your vehicle. It's all a book classroom style, but you'll go over all the information that, like you said, you might forget over the years. Yeah. And we go over different directionals and how to read different roadway signs, and just overall to enhance your skills. And then there's a teen course online that if you're a parent that has a new teen driver, you're a little bit leery about taking them out on the road, go through that program.
I think that's great. And especially, when we look at the difficulty that it is for a new driver to learn how to drive, or maybe when you get older you might have some medical issues that come along that make it difficult later in life. When you throw in the mixture of snow and ice and the potential of black ice, and even many times, we have to find a good balance between making sure we put enough salt and anti-skid down on the road so that it melts the snow, but then if you get too much, even where we're standing here now, you can feel that it will kind of create a slick spot on the road. So, it's difficult enough just to learn how to drive if the conditions are perfect. Right. But as we know here in northeastern Pennsylvania, even looking around now, the conditions are not normally perfect, especially this time of the year because of the amount of snow that we traditionally get, and we haven't gotten as much this year, but I think that the winter's not over yet, so we probably will before it's all said and done.
That's right, we're due.
Another aspect of what you guys do, I know, is making sure, or at least recommending mechanics that can help ensure that our cars are in good working condition, because that is so important this time of year especially. What are some of the things that when someone goes into a AAA certified mechanic, first of all, who is that? What does that entail? And then what are they looking for in a vehicle?
Sure. So we have a list of auto-approved repair facilities throughout our servicing county. There's a variety of garages. And they have certified technicians, so you're going to a trusted garage. Somebody from our national office actually goes out and inspects those garages, makes sure that all their mechanics go through this certification inspection process. So again, you're going through that trusted garage.
Okay, good. And what would they be looking at then, especially when it deals to winter, or what should, if we're looking at our vehicles, what are the things that we should be inspecting to make sure that they're properly working to be safe on the winter?
Sure, we want to make sure that all of our lights are working, all the fluids are filled in your vehicle, your tires have good tread on them, your radio is working. When it does snow, we want to make sure we're cleaning off all of our windows. We're not leaving snow on top of the vehicle, which could be a hazard to yourself or other vehicles traveling around
and that's a good point, because sometimes people think, oh, as long as I clear out this little section, I can kind of tilt my head down there and look out and I can see. Well, even if you can, a worst case scenario, that snow then ends up flying off many times the back and can be a hazard for the person behind you as well. So yeah, and I think that's the law now, correct?
It is.
It is a law.
You can get a hefty fine if that happens.
So great stuff. I want to thank you just for coming out and for joining us. We're going to be talking to Michael Toledo here in just a second. He is the safety press officer for PennDOT. He's going to talk about, we got the Super Bowl coming up. Do you have any plans for the Super Bowl? Any team that you're rooting for?
Broncos.
Broncos, me too. Okay. So we're going to talk a little bit about Super Bowl safety, just to make sure that people are enjoying the holiday, but doing so in a safe way. So thank you so much for joining us.
You taught him how to hit a baseball, how to hit a receiver. You even taught him how to hit the open man. But how much time have you spent teaching him what not to hit?
Welcome back to Northeast Current. I'm James May, and I'm here today with my sidekick, Michael Toledo, who is the safety press officer, works with me here at PennDOT. Mike, we've got a Super Bowl coming up. Denver Broncos, Carolina Panthers. First of all, do you have a favorite?
No, I don't have a favorite.
You don't have? Well, my wife and my oldest son were both born in Fort Wayne, Indiana, so they are Peyton Manning fans, so our house is going for Denver. But either way, the Super Bowl is coming up.
Right.
And obviously this is a time where a lot of people are going to be out partying. A lot of houses will have different people over. What tips would you give for people who are trying to enjoy the Super Bowl, but to do so in a safe way, especially afterwards when they go out and get on the roads?
Well, the best thing is for them not to drink and drive. And also for people that are hosting parties, too, that they should have designated drivers available, and also that they don't let anybody drink like an hour or two before the game ends.
You know, we were talking before, and we've seen those stats where it's a great idea, fourth quarter, just to make the fourth quarter of the time where there's no more alcohol served during the fourth quarter. That's when you move on to the dessert, and then make sure that people are not drinking and driving.
Well, you have an extra chicken wing or something, whatever. But I just want to make people safe, and this is one of the more partier times of the year, so there is a lot of people out there partying, and we just want to make sure that people do not drink and drive. And again, local police will be out there checking for, local and state police will be out there checking for DUIs.
And when a person does get out there, even if I'm not drinking and driving and I don't get behind the wheel, that it is a time when obviously we need to be very careful because other people may have been drinking and driving. So any tips on the tips for those of us who are not drinking and driving, but who also want to be safe on the road that night and all nights?
Well, the one tip is do not text and drive. That your team lose or win and you're texting your friend.
Yeah, very good point.
Do not text and drive. Make sure you wear your seatbelt. That's a good one. And to just follow the road signs and just drive safely and keep your speed on the minimum. And if you have children with you, make sure they're in the proper seating for children.
It's a time when there's always a lot of people on the roads, but this is one of those times that people don't think about the fact that a lot of people are out at parties, and as soon as the party is done, everybody's sort of going home the same time. I know that my kids, you know, they're doing stuff at church, but when they get back on the roads, you're thinking about everybody that's out there that was watching the game somewhere else and may be a little bit too drunk to be behind the wheel. And so very, very important that people, yourself, that you're never drinking and driving, but then that you are taking extra precautions, especially right after the Super Bowl, to make sure that we're all being safe on the roads. Another topic, a little bit different, but I know that recently PennDOT has unveiled the new 511, a new feature actually on our 511 app. Can you talk a little bit about that, and what is that?
Yeah, what they do on the 511 app is they're able to locate the snowplow. So you can go on the app and see if the plow has been on the road. If you live on a rural road, or if you live on near an interstate, you could see where the plow has been.
And I know that's about on 1/3, I think we were saying, of our vehicles are currently equipped with that. What is the safety advantage to having that feature on the app? You know, if I'm a motorist, other than just my curiosity out there of where is the snowplow, is there any safety benefit to having this feature on the app?
I would think the safety benefit is definitely important, where you would be able to see if the road is clear and it's passable and drivable.
So before you head out, that you can actually look at the road and see that. I know as well that we had a very, very sad incident recently where somebody ended up dying that was plowed in. I don't know if it was around here, but you hear about those situations this time of year where somebody gets in their car, starts the car, and ends up getting killed because of the snow coming in. And so I guess obviously the point, the lesson is to
make sure that, like we've seen that, or maybe not in northeastern Pennsylvania, but we saw during that heavy snowstorm that we had recently, that some cars were snowed in and people left them running, and they overcame from fumes of the car.
And the carbon monoxide.
The carbon monoxide. So I would recommend that you make sure you don't sit in your car running, and they also tell you to make sure you shovel around the exhaust.
Yeah.
So we just want this not to happen again for people.
Okay.
It could be tragedy if you're going out and then all of a sudden you find somebody dead in a car.
Lots of good tips to keep us safe on the roads, whether it's not drinking and driving, making sure that you're buckled up, making sure you check the 511 app, or even something as simple as making sure that you dig out around the exhaust so that you're not overcome with the carbon monoxide fumes. This is the type of stuff I know that, especially with spring coming, you're out and about a lot. You do a lot of our scheduling where we go out and about a lot. we're still doing that again this year,
Yeah,
right?
well, what we want to do is this spring we want to be out there more. So if you want to get a date in for have your senior center, your church group, we want to come out and talk to you.
Other than these topics that we discussed today dealing with winter driving, as we move into spring driving, what are some of the other topics that we work with throughout the year to keep people safe?
What we have coming up, we're going to educate the people on some of the traffic laws coming up in February. March we'll have our aggressive driving campaign and St. Patrick's Day. And again, another driving where you're drinking and driving. And we'll have senior driving, mature driver. Work zone safety's coming up in April. We also have teen driving, always teen driving, no matter what time of year it is. And school bus safety is another one. And bike safety and motorcycle safety will be coming up in the spring.
Contact Mike. Mike, your contact information is?
963-3502.
570.
570-963-3502 is the number. And we also have a new coordinator for Lackawanna Highway Safety. So we have another person in Lackawanna County government, so they could contact the commissioner's office too also.
Okay. And my number is 570-963-4044. My email is jamay@pa.gov. And if you have any questions on this or any questions for Nina, who was with us earlier, you can contact one of us, and it would be a pleasure for us to help you, to serve you in any way that we can on behalf of PennDOT. So on behalf of Mike, Nina, and all of us here at the Department of Transportation, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Northeast Current.